August 1st, 2026. August 1st, 2026. Hive number 3. Hive number 3. Been really busy this week from outside observation, so hopefully that means they're gathering well. So I'm gonna do a hive check. Morning, girls. A little smoke first, and then I'll see how they do. All right. Good morning, ladies. Goodness. So that's a good number of bees. Also a good number of hive beetles. Goodness, I don't like that a lot of hive beetles. Like probably 40. So I am gonna smush hive beetles before I do anything else. I'm helping the bees here catch up with these little turds. They're fast and they're tricky. And I see what they do is when the bees start coming after them, they pretend they're dead. And then the bees seem to leave them alone as long as they're not moving. They bunch together in a corner and they hide amongst like trash. So I'm trying to make sure I don't have just trash here, old dead bees or trash that they just haven't had a chance to get out of the hive. So I'm gonna try to brush that down towards the end and smush the hive beetles as they come out of hiding. So, quite a few of them there. Still a couple running around. Alright, so I'm gonna set this down and, oh, there's a big one. I don't want that one in there. Big mama. Alright, I'm gonna and drop my phone. Guys. Well, no worse for the wear. Alright, so just clean off this top so that it sets down better and less places for things to get in and cause a problem. You see hive beetles have been here, are here, but they are using the beetle traps to run them to trap them in, so that's good. Same thing, not quite as bad. Okay, just clean off this top. They're purplizing, getting ready for winter, but Alright, let's see what we got. And a super of hive number 3. Super of hive number 3. I got this frame that they're drawing out. I'm gonna put it down here. It's the end frame. I'll let them hang right there where they're protected. Second frame is also being drawn out. Is about to be in use, looks like. Third frame is being drawn out. Actually, honey is being stored in it, so it's in use. That's an extra piece I'm going to get out of the way. So they're storing honey on both sides of it. So they're looking for places to store, it looks like. If they're full up here and are looking for places, I do have some drawn out comb I can give them to go ahead and start storing in. This is really heavy, so it is full of, oh gosh, rude. Well, I was going to say honey, but this side is brood with larvae and capped brood and capped honey, and on this side is honey, heavy and honey. So, okay. Alright, so that's 2 in use. This next one is also in use. So that's 3 in use. Heavy, brood, larva, honey, brood, larva, honey, and just to give you a good view, and the other side. I don't see eggs because there's no room for eggs. It's all honey, honey, brood, and larva. Okay, so that is 3 in use. This is going to be then 4 in use. I can see. We're in the brood. We're in the super actually, but she is laying up here heavily. I have honey, nectar, and tons of capped brood. Most of the frame is capped brood, and there's some capped brood there as well, and honey and larva. Okay, so I'm just going to show you this frame to show you how heavily it's covered in brood. Pretty. Oh, there's a bee with pollen, like that. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4 in use. This is in use as well with honey, nectar I should say. So it's 5. And this one is also in use with nectar, and this side's being built out just as quickly as they can. There's the nectar, and they're building out that as quickly as they can. That's 6. The next frame I can see is not built out. They're working on it. And the same looks like with the last frame. Let me just peek and make sure it's not in use on the other side. No, it's heavily waxed. That's nice to make it easier for them. Okay, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in use out of 7, 8, 9 out of 10. Yep. 6 out of 10 in use with brood up here as well. I saw quite a bit of small hive beetle on the lid, but only one here in the work area, the bee area. Alright, so 6 out of 10, let me write that down in the brood box, and then I will move the brood box over and we will look, we'll move the super over and we'll look at the brood box. 6 out of 10 in the super. Put this back here. I think they're doing well enough that I'll let them go. They look like they're about to have those other ones drawn out for use. So what's important to note here is, they always say, like, for new beekeepers, which I'm relatively new, but what's important to note is they always say, if you get to 70 to 80%, you need to add more frames or another super. But I'm at 6 out of 10. However, the other 4 frames aren't fully drawn out, so they couldn't put it in there if they wanted to. So as far as they're concerned, they're honey bound or brood bound or whatever. So, that's just something to keep in mind, and something that I've come to realize. Alright, I'm gonna move the super, and very carefully, since there's brood in it, I want to be careful. I don't know where my queen is. Alright, heavy box. Alrighty, now going down into the brood box, and you can see there's a lot of bees here, so that's good. And that's at 10:30. I'm gonna guess it's about 10:30 in the morning when they're out working. So you can see that not near as many small hive beetles down here in the brood box, so that's good. Same here, not nearly as many. Alright, let me just make a quick note of what I saw in the super. 6 of 10. Yes, there's brood and larva. Yes, there's food. Good bee numbers. Yes, moderate hive beetles in the super. Alright, so now I'm getting down to the brood box. See what we got going on down here. I really like this hive. I'd like it to stay. Alright, so they're drawing out comb nicely. That's really good. about ready to use it actually. They're starting to, looks like they're starting to use some of it. Let me just put this over here in a safe spot underneath the lid. Okay, girls. Okay, second frame in. Very well propolised. Alright. Nectar. Beautiful. And then this side they're still building out the frame, so just gonna place that right down in there. So one in use. They must have had a big hatch yesterday. I think it was yesterday that I came out and there were a bunch of them at the front door doing their orientation. Okay, again, we have heavy nectar, and this one is heavy brood. So, it's a good pollen in here. Plenty of energy. Nectar. Nice and easy. Alright, that's 2 in use. This is 3 in use. On this one I have capped brood, and capped brood. Okay. It's 3 in use. Oh, capped brood. Oh, look at that bee with legs fat with pollen. I love that. Larva. Got larva in different stages. Looks like maybe 5 to 6 days old. And again, capped brood and larva, older larva. So capped brood, larva, capped brood, larva. All right. And there was also food around the edges of those frames, as they do. It's 4 in use. This is number 5. Okay. Capped brood and pollen and honey. Not capped yet. Capped brood, pollen, and honey. So that is 5 in use. This will be number 6. Okay, now here we have pollen. Trying to see if there's eggs down here in the bottom of the frame, but it looks like there's some capped brood that still hasn't hatched. I think that's mostly, there's some capped brood here that hasn't hatched. There's also, yeah, there's young larvae over here, so we may have there's been a queen here within the last few days. I don't see her, but alright, so that is number 6, I believe. Yep, 6 in use in the brood box. This is number 7. It looks like it's also in use. Okay, so we have brood, pollen, honey, brood, pollen, honey, and not as much brood here as far as capped. They've got honey pretty much everywhere. So that may be why she felt like she was pushed to go too. She's been in the super as well. Okay, so that's 7. That's number 8. Honey. They still haven't drawn it all the way out to the ends, but what they've got, they're filling with honey. And this is pollen and honey. Pollen and honey. Alright, so that's 8 in use. And this is the outer frame, which I see they're working on. They're still drawing out. But they're actually filling this with honey as they're drawing it out. Okay. So she's looking for places to lay. Alright, everybody go downstairs. Watch my fingers here. I don't want to catch anybody. Alright, we're going to just pull these frames back together. And make note that there were 9 out of 10 frames in use. She's laying in the brood box as well as the super. Goodness, the propolis they've got going on here. They're doing great, looks like. 9 out of 10. Alright, let me put this back in here. Put it there. Traps back in. guys get down there and let me put your sisters back over here, okay? Yeah, so you don't get squashed. Alright, here we go. Look out, ladies. As good as it could have gone. Alright. You're going to stay at your hive, okay?